All right, so junior year, going into your senior year, you go to some camps.
Mm-hmm.
You put your name out there. I'm sure you probably getting a lot of letters your senior year. So, which school did you decide on going to at the end of your senior year?
So at the end of my senior year, I actually decided to go to Mississippi State.
Okay.
I picked Mississippi State. That was Coach Croom's first year.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Croom, he had just got there, but my grades wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I ended up. At the same time, my oldest brother, my big brother, he was the linebacker coach at Hines Community College, and in Mississippi, JUCO is big. So at this time, you had a protected list. So since I'm only 20 minutes away from Hines and I was one of the top players, I had to go there. But for me, I wanted to anyway. Like my brother and them won a championship there. He had Brad Banks, T.T. Tolliver. I got to watch Fred Smoot, see all these guys. I'm like, dang, like some talent come up there, and these dudes leave and go do big things, So Hines, I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. I was down.
All right. I mean, so you knew they already had, they had big names that had been there, that had played, they had success.
Yeah.
So that usually means good coaching, so I can learn something, I can get myself out there. And plus, your brother was there.
Exactly.
So it's even, your brother was there who also played linebacker. So you got,
so it was even
good
better.
coaching. Yeah, right. Even better there. So what was the transition like for you as a player, going from high school to college? I mean, like you said, you went straight to community college.
Yeah.
But you already knew you were SEC caliber player. So what was it like going as an SEC caliber player to Hines Community College?
I'm gonna tell these people, just like Last Chance U, hey, that's not real. Like, hey, they wasn't playing. Like it's a lot of in JUCO. It was a lot of long, hungry nights trying to get us some ramen noodles and stuff like that, But like the main transition was just like the physicality of the ball, where you got like I'm 18, but in JUCO you got guys that's like 22 years old.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Probably just left on the Army or been playing basketball somewhere and came back, So me being a fresh 18-year-old out there with grown men, and then for me, they threw me in the fire. Mm-hmm. Being like the one of the best players, my brother left, but all his friends were still there, all his coaches and stuff.
Did you leave before you got there?
Yeah, he left before I got there.
Okay.
He left right before I got there, so I'm like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
But the coach that was still there, he the one brought my brother in, and he was my coach. So they was tough. They was strict on me. It was hard, but. At the time I didn't understand it, but when I finally caught on to it, it took me like it took me about 5 or 6 games to get the hang of it, because it was different, like when you play in them JUCO games, when you go into like South Mississippi in the country, them referees referee a whole lot different than what you would anywhere else,
I get it.
Hey, it's a lot different.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. But then you were doing your thing at Hines too.
Oh yeah. So it was crazy. So it was like it was like I was struggling at first, and then everything just clicked on. So when I was in high school, I tore my ACL. Oh. So I was coming off an ACL tear my senior year. Yeah.
So your junior year, you tore your ACL?
No, my senior year in high school, my last high school football game against our rivals, I tear my ACL in the second quarter.
Wow.
Like 2 or 3 minutes in the second quarter. So I had to build that all the way back up. By this time, I'm just starting to get back to, feeling like football. And then we play these country boys, and I get a chop block.
Right.
And that activated. So I had to sit out a couple weeks. But after I came back, and I learned how to ice it right and make it heal better, that's when it clicked on, like, I can do this. And then I got pancake for the first time. So, it was, like that first pancake, it changed your mind, And I was big. Like, I'm always one of the biggest linebackers, but yeah, he drove me like 5 yards, and that changed my life, man. After that, it was like, okay, I got it. I'm gonna be more aggressive than everybody else, That's why going into my sophomore year, I gained a little bit more weight. I got faster. Going to my sophomore year, that's when I ran a 4.28 at like 250 pounds. I'm gonna say this much. college spring is the realest time of the year. If you can make it through the spring, the season should be easy.
Yeah.
Cause them mat drills at 4:00, and then you go lift weights, and then you have to go to class right after this.
Yeah.
Like no nap in between, and JUCO, you gotta come sign the list, and hey, it was real.
What kind of signing list did y'all?
Like for breakfast.
Yeah,
so,
we had that too.
Yeah, so you had to go. So you had to go to breakfast, man.
Right. If you didn't go, you already knew what time it was. We had to go to breakfast and dinner.
Yeah, we had that too.
Sign in.
The dinner list was a little easy. We already up, but that breakfast, come on, man. I just seen you, like I'm up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But my sophomore year, that's the year it really clicked on, but it got cut short because of Katrina.
Okay.
That's the same year Hurricane Katrina hit.
Yeah, that was 05. Right?
05.
Yeah.
And it was, I guess we like from New Orleans like 3.5 hours away, 3 hours, and like this was like a normal Sunday, like nice sunny day. It's August, nice sunny day. So, and then me and my other linebacker like, yeah, we're gonna take a nap. We got the fan on. Then it's like, dang, it's hot in here. Like what? Like what's going on? I'm asleep, so I'm looking for the fan. I'm like, I don't feel it no more. I look outside like, dang, couldn't see nothing. Couldn't even see a building that was only like maybe 10 yards away. Mm-hmm. And that's when and that cut everything short because we didn't go to school for like a month or so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was wrecked. It was wrecked.
So right now that was right before the season started.
Mm-hmm,
so you ended up getting back into it?
Yeah,
playing any games?
Yeah, we ended up playing 7 games that year. We ended up playing 7 games, and I played, and I think I only played 6. I had maybe like 84 tackles in them 6 games. Mm-hmm. A couple picks and stuff.
Yeah, you still doing your thing.
Yeah.
Because you ended up doing
I was the MVP that year.
Right, the D Player of the Year, JUCO D Player of the Year. So
yeah, that's some numbers.
It could have been better, but
I know, could have even. That's the whole thing. Could have been even better.
Right. But you still did your thing. And then after JUCO,
I went the Ole Miss. See, it was like, I was supposed to went to Mississippi State, right?
Even after JUCO.
Yeah, I was supposed to went there, but I went to go watch. It was one day. I was like, I'm just gonna go to the Ole Miss LSU game in Oxford, and I went there, and Patrick Willis made this tackle on the goal line, like 3-yard line, and flipped him, and I was like, dang. Yeah, I seen this that day. I walked downstairs and I'm like, hey, I commit right now. If I can play beside, if I can play with this guy, I commit right now. If he come back, I don't want to go on any more visits. I'm good.
And what year was he? Was he a junior?
He was a junior. That was his junior year. He was his junior year. So I'm like, hey, that dude is a monster.
You got to play with him one season, right?
Yeah, that's my dog too. I actually just talked to him a couple weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
That's my guy.
I'm a 49ers fan, actually.
Yeah, that's my guy right there, man. P. Willie, man. Shout out to Patrick, man.
That's what's up. All right, so how many seasons did you end up playing at Ole Miss?
I just played there 1 year. I was there for like 6 months. Mm-hmm. I got there, I didn't go through no tour days, so I was still doing my JUCO work. So I got there the first day of school. So that's why in the beginning I didn't really play. Like my first 4 games, they actually gave me a chance to start against Kentucky. Mm-hmm. But right before the game, I did okay that whole week. But on game day, my brain went blank. Right. I couldn't remember nothing. I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't. They was like, hey, take him out of there. we doing the normal walkthrough, and I was like, damn, I can't remember nothing. It was crazy. It was crazy. I couldn't believe I forgot that much that fast, and I was like, damn. And then so after that, we played Wake Forest.
Okay.
And I didn't play in this game, and it was a rainy night in Mississippi. We lost 36-6. And they only passed the ball 3 times. Mm-hmm. Had like 500 yards rushing on us or something like that. So after that, they told P. Willie, they're like, yeah, you got to help me out. And so he ended up helping me. And he taught me how to really watch that film, looking at the hands and the feet, just it's that certain stuff the quarterback will do, and you'll be like, okay, I got the drop on you. I'm going to change this up, After that, it just was, okay, I get it. I get it now. You know what I mean? Because I had my first real start against Georgia on ESPN. SEC boys. It's Georgia. It's the Bulldogs. So it was a cool game.
Right, but then when you, yeah, all right, so the first game you supposed to start, you kind of had like a brain fart.
Yeah.
But then when you actually did get to play, you still out there doing your thing.
Yeah, I had turned up, I mean, it was just like at the time, like I said, I'm from Mississippi, but we got a lot of Louisianans. I used to put that little boosie on, doing bid. I used to put that boosie on, and hey, we used to turn up, and take me to beast mode, and then it's just, like I just go into a whole zone.
Yeah.
I go into a whole zone, and then it's just pretty much all about the competition. Then when the camera's on, I can't let you embarrass me. And that's my whole thing. I can't let you embarrass me. Cause like my first start, it was like 4th and 3. I got stiff armed, by like Danny Ware, one of them guys. They stiff armed me. So on TV they was like, yeah, he was a great JUCO player, but this the SEC and stuff like that. So the next play I came through there and I had mushed him for like 3 yards, and I'm talking, you see me, I picked him up and yeah, body slam, and they ain't say nothing after that. Like, yeah, we here. Like, that's why, I love to hit.
Yeah.
That's why I made my name.
Yeah. That's how you made your name over here too. Everybody.
They hate me. They hate me. They hate me over here.
Everybody recognize you for that over here. But then you had, I think if I remember correctly, 2-time SEC Player of the Week, right? Defensive Player of the Week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was that your first 2 starts? Or
no, it was like my second and third start.
Okay.
My second start I had 16 tackles, 3 forced fumbles, and I recovered 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was crazy. That was on homecoming against Vanderbilt.
I mean, I bet your coach was like, man, why we let him on the field early?
Just, they just, like I always say, you gotta let the chain off the dogs and let it eat, man. Let the dog roam, man.
Yeah. So how'd the rest of that season end up going for you, man?
It was actually pretty good, and so I had in 8 starts I had 98 tackles. Mm-hmm. So it was average.
And that's SEC too.
Yes, and then we played. So just imagine, I played Georgia, Vanderbilt, Auburn, Alabama, Arkansas. They had Darren McFadden, Felix Jones. Went to play LSU. They had Jamarcus Russell, Dwayne Bowe, and all them. The Hester guy.
Mm-hmm. Did you play against the Gators too?
The Florida, no. If I would have came back from my senior year, I would have played against the Gators. But it was cool, man. I got to play against some real, it was like guys I was just watching on TV the year before. Like I think I can handle these dudes, and it was like, it was real. Going to Tuscaloosa and you playing in that like 100-some thousand people. I heard like Sweet Home Alabama all day. That's crazy.
That's what's up, man. It sounded like it was a great experience and a great way to, just test your level and see that I can compete against these guys who, many of those names you just mentioned played in the NFL. So
yeah, and look, Darren McFadden, he in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Right.
And then when I played against him, that was the only game they didn't get over 100 yards rushing with me, and I had 13 against them.
Wow.
Like we going sideline to sideline. He's a big boy. I'm not gonna. He a big boy though. He's like 6'3". I ain't number like 6 foot, 6'1" at the most with cleats, but tackling. Just imagine tackling Jamarcus Russell. He's 6'6", 270 at quarterback. And I'm probably was like 230 wet at the time. That's like one of the only times I think I closed my eyes on tackle because that's a big boy.
Yeah. That's what's up though, man.